Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Aaron James. Guys, this is a start, another week where we're going to be linked with every man and his dog and every man and his sheep and his hamster and his guinea pig and his goldfish, his brother's canary. It literally is going to be that case until next season begins and the transfer window closes. We've got another link, which I think is a very odd one. If I'm being honest with you, a Chilean left back stroke kind of centre back. We'll talk a little bit about him shortly. Thomas Galdames, another name that's been linked, obviously, after the collapse of the Jose Cordoba transfer. Still think that Cordoba is just absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, taking Norwich over Rangers is just not a good move in the slightest for his career. We're also going to talk about the meltdown that's kind of gone on post the away kit launch. Not because people don't like the away kit. The away kit is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic retro style. It looks good. It looks quality. I've actually ordered mine this morning. I do like it. It's I actually ordered it from Castore because it was cheaper ordering it from Castore actually than ordering it from the club. I think it was about £2-3 cheaper. Better in my pocket than theirs. So there, yeah, ordered it this morning. Looks fantastic. Can't wait to actually get it and wear it. So let's start off with the media meltdown that's gone on over the away kit launch. Now, right, so when clubs launch their kits, their new kits, they will launch it with a video, with photographs, with all the publicity they, to try and obviously push the launch as much as possible, and that obviously involves players starring in that video launch, wearing the kit, looking good, posing around Ibrox or Rockin' Howie or wherever. To really attractive up the kit and sort of dragging the interest, isn't it? Now, on the video that was published the other day, if you watch the Twitter video, I can't put it up on here, obviously, because of copyright legislation. But Danilo was on there. Great to see him, obviously able to walk around and do a kit launch at very least. Ross McCausland was on there, Ridvan was on there, and Dujon Sterling was on there. So they were the fourth players that were obviously chosen by the club to do the new kit launch. Probably because I think, if you look at the squad as it stands at the moment, they're probably the four safest names could be the four safest names to remain at Rangers next season. Unless, obviously, ridiculous bids were to come in for Ridvan and Dujon, then I think the club would necessarily look at those deals. Any bid in excess of, say, 6 million plus for Ridvan, any deal in excess of, say, 6 to 10 million for Dujon, I think would be looked at, especially given the fact we did pay nothing for him. But Ross McCausland obviously is going absolutely nowhere, and Danilo obviously is just signed last summer. So again, he is another one going absolutely nowhere. But why have fans and media outlets, and I'm spelling a lot of those media outlets, I'm spelling with a H, why are they going into meltdown over this video? Well, it's quite a simple one. And I think it's, for me personally, it's kind of lazy journalism. It's kind of clickbait journalism. It's kind of, I don't know, just trying to get fans to click on the articles and read the articles and the videos and so on and so forth. Maybe you might think I'm being guilty of that, but I'm not, because I'm talking about it from a different angle than they are. So, they've come out and they've said, oh, no James Tavernier in the new kit launch. The club captain's not there for the kit launch. Oh, wow, Joe, what does this say? What does this mean? This means that he's not going to be here for definite next season because they're not using him in their away kit launch video. I just genuinely think this is just pathetic. There's absolutely no truth in it. I think at the end of the day, the club will pick whatever players it wants for that video. I mean, that's the first thing. And there's a couple of things I think we need to pick out on this and kind of address around this whole James Tavernier is missing from the away kit launch video, and it's, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Oh my God, he's definitely going, and oh my God, this means Rangers don't want him anymore. No, not a bit of it. I mean, there's a number of explanations for this, and I think people are reading far too much into the actual video and actual, these stories. Number one, he could well be on holiday. The season is now over. Tav could be on holiday. He may not be available. He could have gone abroad. I wouldn't blame him. He's played a lot of football over the last few seasons and this season. He's probably due a well-earned rest. So he could have gone on holiday. That's the first thing. I mean, that's probably might not be true, but hey, there we go. Second thing is this, right? The club have got to look at it in terms of the fact that who is definitely going to be here next season. Like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty around Tav. That's another reason why there could be a reason why they're not using him on this launch video. The third reason is I think the club will be aware that there is a lot of ill feeling towards the club captain at this moment in time, rightly or wrongly. And I'm sure there are fans on both sides of the argument. There's the we love Tav gang over here, and there's the for fuck's sake Tav gang over here, and there's the I couldn't give a toss gang in the middle. And I'm sure that part of it, is genuinely there could be an actual sense that the club understand that there is an ill feeling towards Tav. That there's a number of fans that want him gone, that want him out, and that could be another reason. PR is a massive thing in this game. It is a huge thing in this game, and getting your PR right, getting your promotion right, getting your sales pitch right is absolutely vital. So, look, for me, this is another one that another consideration. There's a whole plethora of reasons why James Tavernier probably isn't in this kit video, and I think the kit's great, and I think look. It is expensive. It is £75 for the new kit. But look, at the end of the day, I think people are reading far too much into the fact that Tav is not in the kit launch video. And I think it's a bit ridiculous, really. It is a bit ridiculous. But you know what? The media love it, don't they? And especially the fact that, the media in Scotland are very much dominated by the other side of the city. And I think, the word media in Scotland, I think 75 to 80% of it should be spelled with a H rather than obviously without that H in it. Okay, so let's move it along. So Rangers obviously have confirmed one signing this summer, which is the signing of left back Hefte. He's essentially is a left back. That's where he's played most of his career for Fluminense and for Apoel Nicosia. And if you go and watch his game tapes or you watch his videos, I've watched some of his game tapes. Very good going forward. Not so great defending. He does have that slight weakness, a bit of a Tav about him. But then again, let's face it, Brazilian fullbacks are never brilliant defenders, are they? I think you look back across recent history to the likes, and I'm not saying that Hefte is in the class of these guys because these guys are different class, but you look at the likes of Dani Alves, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, for example, just to name but three, and those guys are very good going forward, not necessarily as good at going backwards. So look, I think that's always a situation you have with South America or with Brazilian fullbacks. A bit different with Argentine ones because we all know that Argentinian defenders are very much kick first, ask questions later. But that's the situation. So Hefte is essentially a left back, although he can play as a left wing. Now, there's been some speculation that maybe Philippe Clement sees him as a left winger. But, in the comments that Clement made post Hefte signing, he did talk about him as a fullback, not as a winger. Now, the latest link that has come out in the media is to this player here, a Chilean player who, a 25-year-old who currently plies his trade in Argentina. His name, for those of you not sure of his name, he has a very long name, doesn't he? That's an incredibly long name. He is called Galdames. That's his name, Galdames. So what do we know about him? Well, he's essentially a left back, and this is why I find it slightly perplexing that we've kind of signed him, that he's a player that we've kind of, well, not signing, player we're looking at signing. We have Ridvan, who is a left back. We have Robbie Fraser, who is a very good young left back, and we have Hefte now. So we have three left backs at the club, essentially. Now, I know there's obviously stories going around as regards the future of Ridvan, that, if one of the big Turkish clubs like Fenerbahce, for example, were to come in and to put in a bid for him, that, they could be tempted by that bid to sell him. There was talk of that certainly around, around that. So, look, at the end of the day, it's a possibility. Like I said, if someone comes in with a £6 million, £7 million bid for Ridvan, it could well be the case. Obviously, I hope that Robbie Fraser gets a new deal this summer as well, and Robbie Fraser gets his chance. But this guy here, whose name is Thomas Ignacio Galdames Milian, known as Galdames, I think his name is James Galdames or Thomas Galdames. Thomas Galdames, that's his name. He is just slightly over 6 foot. He's from Chile. He is a left back, like I said, but he can play centre half. He can play as a centre half. He has, in his career, played centre half. So whether the reason they're looking at him is that Philippe Clement, Niels Koppen, and the coaching staff feel that he could become a centre half and that he could be used as a centre half, and his ball playing skills, which he obviously will have as a fullback, and his ability to bring the ball out from the back, which he will have as a fullback, maybe what they're looking for in their central defenders this coming season. So that may be the reason they're looking at him. I don't think necessarily he is a left back that we're looking at playing him at left back, because like I said, if you've got Ridvan, you've got Hefte, you've got Fraser, you've got more than enough left backs there to address that need. He is left footed, so again would provide some balance to that side of the defense. And I think no matter what you think of Ben Davies, and I know there's Ben Davies fans out there, there's those that don't like Ben Davies. I thought he did really well at the end of the season. He does provide a more natural balance out there. He does play, give the defense a more balanced feel when he plays there. Nothing against John Suter, who I do like Sutty. But, look, at the end of the day, I just feel that having a left-footed, left-sided centre-back does give you better balance. And there's kind of no strangeness either in the fact that, that when Ben Davies hasn't got a babysit Borna Barisic outside him, he looks a better player. When he's had Ridvan there or Robbie Fraser there, he's looked a better player. I think part of the issues that Davies has maybe had in his time at Rangers is having to have Barisic there, and Barisic is a massive weak link. Was, thank God, a massive weak link at the club. He's now gone, thank God. But so look, I think there is a need for left centre back. I would certainly keep hold of Ben Davies next season as a squad player. I don't think that that he is someone who will let us down if he comes in and is needed. But I think the possibility here is the reason they're looking at Galdames is because of the fact that he can play. He is laterally left-footed. He is a fullback, but he can play as a centre half. He's also quite cheap. He's about €2 million. It's about £1.5 million. He's still under contract until the end of next season, but he will be available for a cut price fee because of that. Now, he began his career at Union Española in Chile, and he had then went on to play in Argentina for Godoy Cruz. Must admit, I don't know a great deal about Godoy Cruz. I mean, in terms of Argentinian teams, I only really know about River Plate and Boca Juniors. They're obviously the two main teams in Argentina. What do we know about Godoy Cruz? They finished 9th in the Premier League in 2023. They've got a fairly small ground at 17,000, so I suppose it would be a nice big shock for Galdames playing in front of the crowd at Ibrox at over 50,000. So it's a strange one, but on the whole, South American defenders, are pretty much no nonsense. They are good ball players. They are good tacklers. Well, non-Brazilian fullbacks anyway are. So look, at the end of the day, and the Argentinian season has just got underway. Godoy actually sit 23rd place out of 28 teams, yet to win a game, 1 draw, 1 defeat this season. In a league that is led by Racing Club, the team I've heard of, Gimnasia, River Plate down in 7th. My goodness me. So look, at the end of the day, I think this is a move that is very much addressing this left-sided centre-back, although he is primarily a left-back. He's got a wealth of experience in different South American leagues, which I know is always a concern, isn't it? That European football, and in particular Scottish football, is very different to South American football, to European football. The British football style is very much physical, in your face. But I think you find with a lot of Chilean and Argentinian defenders, they don't shy away from the physical side of the game. You look back across some of these Argentinian and Chilean defenders that have come to play in Britain, in England, like Vargas, for example, and people like that. They're physical guys, they're big guys, they're strong guys, and that's who they are. They played in the Primeira. He's played in the Primeira, he's Liga de Profesional, the Copa de la Liga. He's played in the Copa de Libertadores. He's played in the playoffs in Argentina. He's played in the Argentinian Cups. He's played in the Copa Sudamericana, which is their version of the UEFA Cup or the Europa League, whatever you want to call it. So he's got a vast wealth of experience there. He's 25 years old. So again, he's a player that 2-3 years down the line could be worth a little bit more money if he comes in and impresses. So it's a decent link. And I think what's encouraging for me is, if you looked at last summer, there was all the dancing around over Panzo and Trusty, and neither of those deals came off. And we then came into the new season with exactly the same centre backs that we finished, well, apart from signing Leon Balogun, I suppose, but he was kind of a Rangers player anyway. I think I kind of look at his spell at QPR as just a loan, and we just got him back and had to pay a bit of money to get him back. But look, I think, overall, there's a different focus this season, and there's a different focus this off-season, that when one target falls by the wayside, that there is another name. And I feel that Koppen has a book of names. He has, in the NFL, and I've covered a lot of NFL in my time, they have what's called a big board when they're looking at what players to draft, what free agent players to bring in, and they list off so different positions, and they'll have a big list of players they want to look at for that position, a big list of players they want to look at for another position, and so on. And I think Niels Koppen is very much taking that big board philosophy towards this summer. That we've identified the positions of need: centre back, left backs, attacking midfield, striker, winger, and we've got that big board of list of names of players we want to look at and players who we're interested in. And I think this Galdames move is very much on that line, isn't it? That this is the next name, the next cab off the rank, if you want, the next deal, the next player that we're kind of looking at and we want to bring into the club. So overall, for me, Galdames, I think, it's an interesting one. I do need to find out a little bit more about Galdames. I must admit, like I said, I'm no expert on Argentinian football or Chilean football, so I do want to look at Galdames as a player. I think it could be a very interesting signing for Rangers. But it's overall encouraging for me, the number of players we are looking at and the different types of players, and also that fact we've expanded our market. We've really pushed our market out, and we're looking at a whole host of different players now from all over the world, and not just focusing on one market in particular. And I think that is very positive from the club. In addition to that, I think we do need to bring in some Scottish players. I'm hoping that this summer there won't be a snobbery towards Scottish players, that we will still go and look at the likes of Lennon Miller, Conor Barron, Lauren Shankland, although Chris Jack of Rangers Review does say that we're not interested in Shankland. So look, the overall, I think there is a need still to get in those young Scottish talented players. Obviously, we signed Liam Kelly, but look, this is going to be a summer like no other. I really do believe that, and I think there's a chance for the Copon and Clement to really focus, and really drive this team forward and bring in the names, bring in the players that are going to make a massive difference for our club. Well, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be interested to get your take on the old Tav story. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, please smash that sub, help the channel to keep on growing. Guys, this is it. This is my channel, man. I love this channel. This is just part of my life now. It's a massive part of my life. I absolutely love covering it. I love the involvement you guys have got. I love the comments you make. I love your just everything you do for the channel is fantastic. So thank you so much for that. In addition to that, guys, look, there's big plans coming up for the new season. I'm going to make a video talking about what the plans for the channel are for the new season. So look out for that. Thank you so much, guys. Please smash that sub. And on the way out, you know the story, guys. You know it by now. You can probably say it with me. Smash that like. It beats the evil algorithm. And number 2, please remember, never forget, we are the people.